Hello, this is my third time attempting this video. I don't know why I did that, I meant third. And hopefully it will be the final time. It is the only time that we need. Now, this video is about a couple of things. First of all, there are purchases to be shown, which is very nice. One of them just arrived while I was trying to record this the first time around. Secondly, there's mention of a big show that dropped a new season on Netflix. You probably already know what that is. And thirdly, it is about live entertainment and the live experience. So let me start with the big show that dropped on Netflix. That was yesterday. That was season 7 of Black Mirror. If you like Black Mirror, then you know you get the mixture of usually emotional punch or gut punch and technology tinging our lives with darkness and a sense of the rushing bleak void that is coming for us all. So season 7 is in line with that. I've only watched the first episode so far, Common People, starring Chris O'Dowd and Rashida Jones. It was very good. I could see where it was going in a couple of ways. There were no big sort of twists or anything in that, but I sort of really liked it, but I sort of had that feeling that Black Mirror can give you about the depressing inevitability of where things are going to end up. So it's a recommendation, but a cautious one. Don't watch it if you're having a bad day, obviously. Now, the live experience. I went along last Saturday and went to the theatre and saw Matthew Bourne's Swan Lake. It was wonderful. I've never been to Ballet before. I think for me it was a good entry point to ballet because it's quite non-traditional in a lot of ways, but you still get the skill and the grace of the artists on the stage. So I really liked it. Traditionalists may balk at it a little bit, but just fantastic stuff. So it depends on your financial situation, it depends on accessibility, and it depends on your taste. But if these things line up, I would recommend that everyone tries at least once or twice to get along to a live show or theatre experience, whether it's ballet, whether it's musical acts, whether it's panto, whether it's a play, whether it's a bit of live comedy. You tend to find, if you're in the right environment, that people will keep their phones away for the most part. They'll all check in at the interval. And you tend to come away feeling slightly enriched in your soul, I think, because education and art should be free and available for all. We know it isn't. We know there are ways in which things are kind of kept out of reach, or there are sort of gatekeepers who work hard to keep the gates and fences around. But I do think if you have a way to see anything, even if it's a local amateur group that does productions on a much smaller scale for a much smaller ticket price, or for some free shows, because they will often be looking to encourage other people to join or just appreciate the art or get involved in some way. I really recommend that, and I think it's something that's easy to forget. I know that I did. I forgot how much I enjoyed it before I booked this show. I have about 8 or 9 shows booked for the year ahead, and I'll mention those when I've been to them. And yeah, it's like it's a big day out, you know. It's a trip to the theatre, find somewhere to eat or drink beforehand, a lot of time in the theatre trying to get the ice cream at intermission. The queues are just piling out of the toilets, so you want to get there, and it's great. It's a wonderful time though, but not everyone can manage it. If you can, if you get the opportunity, if there are deals on, if there's a local competition where you can win some tickets, or if there's just someone who's booked something and then they can't make it and they offer you the chance, I would say please do go along and try stuff, like try different stuff. As I say, I'd not been to ballet before. There were quite a few years ago where I went to the opera for the first time, and I did not think I would enjoy a night at the opera unless it was with the Marx Brothers on screen, and I really ended up enjoying that. Same goes for classical music concerts and just different things that over the years I've maybe been hesitant about, and I really enjoyed it when I've been there in the midst of the live performance. Movie wise, let's go from theatre to movies. This arrived this week, the Long Kiss Goodnight, and I'm a big fan of Long Kiss Goodnight. Rennie Harlin directing, Shane Black's script, Geena Davis in a kick-ass action role. You get this in the package, and you get some writing, but you also get this, which is fantastically personalised how Samuel L. Jackson would want it. You know, this was made when Rennie Harlin was still, I would say, doing great stuff, but he didn't seem to have the success that I think he warranted. Certainly not in his pairings with Davis. They were in a relationship for a while. I can't remember if they were married. And he was the one who ended up sort of pushing these vehicles with her as an action starlet in the lead. And she's kick-ass, she's great. I mean, whatever you think of that film, whatever you think of Cutthroat Island, which I know flopped spectacularly, and I picked it for the podcast, and it doesn't hold up quite as well as I remembered, but I still like Geena Davis in an action role. Like, Geena Davis is fantastic. And she was, I think, perfectly suited to be a kick-ass action star. Unfortunately, that never really happened, and she didn't go as stratospheric as I thought she would. She's got films that people would consider highlights, but they will tend to usually go with Thelma and Louise or A League of Their Own. Maybe The Fly, where she's got a good role in that, but it feels like a supporting role to Jeff Goldblum. Yeah, I mean, the other film fans may go for the Accidental Tourist, I think is the one that she's in. I can't recall if she won the Oscar for that. But, like, she's great. She's always been great. She's done a lot of great work over the years, both off-screen and on. And I would assume she's probably fighting on a number of different fronts at the moment, because she would not enjoy the way things are going in the world around us right now. But it's just a shame she didn't get the chance to be, like, right as high at the top as I believe she deserved. I love Geena Davis, have loved her for years. Love that film. I've kind of future-proofed some of my movie collection with a few 4Ks, that is 4K and Blu-ray. There are a few titles that I've picked up that will be just 4K, and at some point I'll get a 4K player. But I'm not giving up my 3D movie system, so just have to figure things out as we move along. I'm not upgrading everything to 4K. It's just if the option's there, then I'll tend to go for it. Now, the other arrival for today just came. So FX 1 and 2 was a 101 Films release that I bought years ago. Didn't get around to watching it, rewatching it I should say, because I watched them on VHS years ago. And then Arrow did this, and yeah, I had to upgrade, because unlike the 101 Films release, this is actually packed with some nice special features. I went for the classic cover on this one. There's a book in there. I think is there a poster? I can't recall. There are some funky stickers. There we go. And let me tuck these away. I remember being a big fan of FX when I first saw it, and I think this is perfect timing. I think I'll treat myself to this in the next couple of days. Bryan Brown was fun in the lead. If you're a film fan and appreciate special effects in films, it was almost like getting a peek at how some magicians do their tricks. and it was a lot of fun that way. It's a good cast, and yeah, like I actually really recommend FX or FX Murder by Illusion. FX2, I recall being a lesser film, but that double pack's really nice. It might be better than I remember, so I would say if you can, then buy the double pack. Why wouldn't you? It's so much better than the one-on-one films version, which was just like really bare bones. And yeah, I'm going to sit down and make some quality time for FX and FX2 probably this weekend. We didn't mention on the podcast last week, I believe we were remiss in forgetting to mention the passing of Val Kilmer. I think if we don't mention someone's passing, it's not that we're doing it deliberately. There are just times where it feels like so many announcements are coming along in a short space of time. I mean, obviously we had Gene Hackman a few weeks or a month ago. And I just wanted to say though, I was a big fan of Val Kilmer. I did mention him in last week's video, and tried to give a little bit of a memorial / some recommendations. But the reason I'm mentioning him again now is I finally watched my digital copy of The Saint. Now, The Saint cost me about £2 on iTunes, £2 or £3. And with respect to the late Val Kilmer, it's not a good film. So I want to warn you all against that in case I mentioned it in last week's video. I couldn't recall if I did. Elizabeth Shue is in there, and she's, you know, she's quite lovely in the film because she's Elizabeth Shue, and you know, she is the person who catches Val Kilmer's eye and attention. But it's, I mean, it's not good. I ended up waiting for some big set piece that didn't happen, so that's a shame. So just stick with basically Top Secret and maybe the Top Gun movies if you want a double bill, and there are many others obviously, but just avoid The Saint. That's it. So I'm kind of glad the post interrupted me because my FX package arrived, but I will be glad when this is done, because I don't enjoy having to remember what nonsense I had lined up to speak about, you know, the first time round, and then 3 times. It's all just too much. Anyway, enjoy your weekend, enjoy the week ahead. I don't know when next week's video will appear, but hopefully I will remember it a bit sooner. And oh, there may be another video appearing at some point this evening or tomorrow, and that is with Dr. AC and his horror channel, because I was chatting with people last week about The Descent, and it was wonderful, and I recommend it, and I'll put a link to his channel below. That's it, bye.